think the difference is between thin people and not so thin people? Well, I suspect that there are a lot of differences. But one of the differences that I've been able to observe is what happens when a thin person eats something that perhaps isn't the best diet choice. They've been to a party, they decide they're going to go for it and have the cheesecake. Now, they may not finish it because they just want the taste of it, but what do? Perhaps they've eaten the whole thing. What I've observed is that most thin people, when they have overindulged or eaten something that's not on their normal food plan, is they just get back on track. They don't even think about it. The next day they modify their diet based on how their body feels, and they might eat a little bit lighter the next day or just go back to what they normally eat. They enjoy what they've eaten and move on. Now let's contrast that with folks who are overweight or obese. What happens when you've been trying really hard, you always want to lose weight, you're always on a diet, and you overindulge? Do you get back on track? Not usually. What happens is this emotional upheaval of self-loathing, shame, guilt, embarrassment, and those things make you want to eat more. So you might start by the next day really denying yourself good foods and just eat dry salads or something totally self-punishing. And then you blow it again because you feel so bad. You've turned to food to make that bad feeling go away from having eaten before, and it just keeps cascading on and on and on. Because those of us who have issues with food and diet and body image don't know how to get back on track. Getting back on track, I like to call it GBOT, is one of the major differences I see. Good news, we can do something about that. So we're going to do a little tap along about getting back on track. Remember, I want you to check out the disclaimer that's noted at www.drleannamanuel.com/disclaimer and take responsibility for your own well-being here. So we're going to start on our karate chop point. I blew it. I'd been doing so well, been eating from my food plan, and then there was dinner tonight. Oh, there was so much food, and it was all things that I really like, and I blew it. How could I do that? Even though I blew it, I choose to try to love myself. I ate way too much. I also ate too much of the wrong things. How could I be so stupid? How could I be so weak? Man, I blew it. In spite of the fact I really blew it, I choose to remember that was just one meal. And I acknowledge where I am right now. Even though I ate more food than I should have in order to reach my health goals, I love and accept myself completely and choose to get back on track right now. Because I know that I get to choose what to put in my mouth every minute. And it does no good to beat myself up over it. It's not worked in the past. It's not likely to work in the future. I just need to get back on track right now. I blew it. I can't believe I blew it again. What was I thinking? I don't understand why I do this. I should know better. daggone it, I'm stupid. I can't believe that I blew it. I've done it again. And again and again and again and again and again. And here I am, back in that same old place. Fat, angry, disgusted, disgusting. I really blew it this time. I've done it again. Now, usually when I feel like this, I can't take it. And I end up in the pantry, stuffing my face with food to try to make myself feel better. That never works. Never, ever works. But I do it over and over and over again. Even though this seems to be a pattern for me, I choose to believe that even this can change. I blew it at dinner. But I choose to get back on track right now. That's what a thin person would do. And I should do what they do, because obviously it works. At least it works a whole lot better than what I've always been doing. So I blew it at dinner. I can tap about all of those things I was feeling while I was eating that contributed to me overeating, if I need to. I might not need to. I could just choose to get back on track right now. I could release the self-loathing. I could release the embarrassment and shame. I could release the guilt. I could release the anger. I could release feeling out of control. And simply get back on track. What I did wasn't a crime. Did I let myself down? Maybe. Maybe not. I overate at one meal. Eating too much at one meal didn't make me fat. It's eating too much at lots of meals. So I can stop that habit right now. I can stop the process and get back on track. I'm still not feeling all that confident about getting back on track. But I'm open to clarity about why not. It seems like it should be simple. I know what I need to eat for my body to be healthy. And my next meal isn't till breakfast. I know how to eat a good breakfast. In fact, breakfast is an easy meal for me to eat right. So if I want to get back on track, back to the plan tomorrow morning for breakfast. That'll be easier to do if I really let go of the shame and guilt. I release this shame. I release the shame. I release the shame from my body. This overeating shame. I release the shame from my brain. This overeating shame. I release this shame from my cells. All of the woulda, shoulda, coulda that's stored in my cells, I let it go. I release the shame from my soul. I forgive myself for overeating. It wasn't a crime. It's worth looking at so that I understand why I did it, so that I never have to feel this way again. It wasn't a big deal. I can get back on track. No more shame about dinner tonight. Back on track. Take a deep breath and let it out. I'm feeling better. Hope you are too. Remember, all you have to do, get back on track. Until next time, happy tapping.